Hey, I'm Fable. Leveling is annoying and boring like really long YouTube intros, so hit the sub and like button and share if you found it useful. Here's a sheet with useful items and buffs that will help you with leveling and where you can get them. There are outfits in the game like Mog Station and Grain Company outfits that give you a percentage more experience, but your defense is going to be crap. You'll die more often, it's not a good trade-off, your time is better spent being successful. I'd also like to mention that a high squadron level really helps here as it will make your leveling experience 4 times as fast, and you can also get 15% bonus because of the squadron battle manuals that you can get. This video is intended for people who have already hit level 80. There are tips for those who haven't hit that yet or you're stuck in a level or something, but do your MSQ first. If you haven't done your MSQ yet, that's the way to level. Otherwise, check the comments down below to check at what level you're stuck at and what you can best do to level. Anyway, let's get started. It's at this time I should also mention the roulette priority. Once you've hit level 16 and you can start participating in your daily roulettes, the general order of priority for me when it comes to daily roulette is as follows: Frontlines, Main Scenario, Alliance Raids, Normal Raids, 50, 60, 70, Trials, Leveling. The reason I do the roulettes like this is actually very simple. The instances marked as green either do not care about your level above a certain point of entry, like Frontlines or Main Scenario. Then Alliance Raids and Normal Raids matter every 10 levels past level 50. 50, 60, 70 matters a little bit more, but you tend to get stuck in the lower level content anyway. Trials goes before Leveling for me because all the instances I've ran before could result in a level up that will unlock a new dungeon to potentially get in Leveling Roulette. And if you do get it, for example, like hitting 67, queuing up for Leveling Roulette and ending up getting Doma Castle, you're actually going to get a whole new free level. That's why I prioritize it this way. It all comes down to a little bit of chance, but personally, I take that gamble. Alright, so for 1 to 16, I'm going to give you two options. You're either going to get a friend and you're going to kill your hunting log first. They hit the mob, you get the mark. And after that, you're going to go to the LevaQuest location in Western Thanalan. It's easier to go there with the Aetherites in the main city of Ul'dah. From level 1 to 10, you're going to do the LevaQuests there, and from level 10 to 15 or 16, you're going to go to Aelport, Western Lanosia. What you do is the low level picks up the LevaQuests while the higher level player goes into the field and one hits all the mobs. You complete the quests, you never go back with the teleport once it's prompted, you hand them in, and you re-accept them. Always discard the ones that require you to emote, they're never worth your time. If you're going to do this solo, which technically could be a little bit faster if you're really fast, is by doing the Palace of the Dead entry at floor 50-60. You enter, you do the floors, you kill all the mobs, you reset your progress the moment you are allowed to leave, and you re-enter at 50-60. You do this until level 16, and from there you keep doing Palace of the Dead if you want to, but there are other options. 16 to 15. You could very well keep doing Palace of the Dead until level 61 and then switch on to Heaven on High to hit level 71. For DPS players, this could very likely be the whole thing. But from level 16 on, we have a more efficient option, your Grand Company's Squadron. At a certain rank, you get to command the missions that involve you running past dungeons. The dungeons are a little slower than they were in the past because you're doing them, well, not with players, but with your squadron, but the experience is well worth it. In my own personal experience, this was the fastest way to hit level 50. Also, make sure to send them out all the time for squadron battle manuals along the way. For tanks and healers, you could follow the DPS's method as well, as it is also efficient for you, but depending on your server's activity, it could even be faster to run the latest dungeon available to you, as queue times are not that high. Your squadron, again, beats out all of these options. Alright, so you're officially done with your squadron. For tanks, healers, and DPS both, this is when you switch to Palace of the Dead full time and potentially drop your squadron 100%. Unfortunately, this is the best way to begin leveling up, so if you've actually done Palace of the Dead full time up until this point, I'm sorry, it just gets a little sucky from here on out. Tanks and healers could have it easier by doing the latest Heavensward dungeons, but really it comes down to your server's activity. Usually by the time I hit level 50, I kinda left my squadrons behind to move on to 11 levels through Palace of the Dead, but with level 60 dungeons now being available to squadrons, it might be worth giving a shot for the experience. That wasn't an option when I was running it, so I'm not entirely sure about that. I haven't tested this yet, but the power increase that squadrons had before is now evened out, so technically they're not the strongest anymore. So Palace of the Dead until 61. I'm sorry, it's kinda boring. At level 61, you unlock the Stormblood dungeons, and this is when XP starts ramping up a bit for everybody. If the queue times are fast in your data center, your DPS might actually also want to consider this. Otherwise, this is potentially the fastest way for tanks and healers, by just rolling the Stormblood dungeons all the time. For DPS, the fastest way is the new Palace of the Dead alternative, Heaven on High. This goes by much faster and doesn't require you to reset progress after every 10 floors. Just keep on going until it tells you can't. For both, there is an addition for leveling. In Ishgard, you can get the Wondrous Tales for Chloe, which now gives you XP upon completion once a week. Now when this update rolled out, I already had everything at level 80, but you can usually complete Wondrous Tales over the week by just doing your dailies. So free experience, potential rewards, I wouldn't pass that up. Make a note somewhere, set an alarm on a Tuesday on the reset day, because Chloe is worth it, I swear. At 71, you get Shadowbringers dungeons. Now we get into a little bit of a kerfuffle. This is when things get a little confusing, but no more Heaven on High or Palace of the Dead. Kinda. Finally, this is actually the point where your armory bonus actually diminishes greatly, so make sure you get the squadron manuals, your FC buffs, and your food. And all of your items will likely have expired as well. Secondly, have you hit level 80 on a class before? If the answer is no, then the best way to level in my own experience is as follows. Do the latest dungeon available to you at all times. DPS, you do this too. The XP is the best in the game that it has to offer at this point. If you're in a queue and the queue is taking a few minutes, head on over to the Crystarium and use the Aetherite to go to the Tenemos Rookery. From there, head on to the hunt board and take every single hunt mark sheet that you can, and do them in the queue downtime. Hunts give you about 50% of a level every single time that you get to refresh them, meaning you usually only have to run 1 or 2 dungeons after that for a level. Not just that, head on over to Ilmeg and unlock the Pixie Beast stripe for more experience daily. And you still have daily roulettes, you have a lot of options. If you do have a class at level 80, unlock the Bajan Resistance if you haven't yet. If you have, wonderful, you probably already experienced this. The Bajan Resistance is Shadowbringers' Deep Dungeon and Eureka combined. Again, when this came out, I already had everything at level 80, but my friends who did use this claimed to have been able to level up from 71 or over to 75 in just under 3 hours. I don't know if that's true or not, they could be exaggerating, but it's a really quick level and it's way faster than dungeons. It helps progress your relic weapon, it levels you up, and it's a pretty engaging experience if you're actively participating. If you have too much gil on your hands and your server is dirt cheap with the things that you can hand in, an achievement allows you to get a special earring here that boosts XP gain by 10% along the way. So when you're leveling all your jobs, you can get this boost. This only counts from level 71 onwards though, but it is a little extra. Remember to do your daily roulettes as well in the order that I gave you before. But this time around, you can ditch the main scenario roulette as Baja is a better time investment. And that's it for my leveling guide. I didn't want to list every single option there is, just the best options to my knowledge. Do you have tips, tricks, etc.? Please leave those in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope leveling goes smoothly for you here on out. Squadrons OP, Fabled Ways out.